Hello, my name's Andy Raphael from eTechnics.com and welcome to another video review. Today we're looking at the AMD Phenom II X6 1090T Black Edition AM3 processor. This is the AMD Phenom II X6 1090T Black Edition processor. Because it's a Black Edition, it does come with an unlock multiplier, so for all the overclockers and enthusiasts out there, this is going to be a fantastic processor for you. It operates at a speed of 3.2 GHz per core, which is quite a high speed anyway, so if you are looking at overclocking, who knows what the future may hold for you. As I said, it does maintain an unlock multiplier. It also runs at a voltage of 1.125 volt to 1.4 volt and has a TDP of 125 watts. So even as the stock speed of 3.2 GHz, it is going to run very hot. AMD's spec sheet does show that it will run around 62 degrees as maximum heat Celsius. So if you are looking at overclocking, it is going to get a lot higher. So make sure firstly you've got a decent cooler, and secondly you're using a good thermal compound. If you're not sure on which thermal compound to use, please check on eTechnics.com, where we have got some reviews on the best thermal compounds on the market. It uses 45nm technology, which isn't the latest technology, but for AMD it is. Intel are using a lower technology, which obviously leads to better technology and mainly running cooler as well. But for AMD they are sticking with 45nm technology for the moment. It also has 3 MB of L2 cache and 6 MB of L3 cache. If you've seen some of the other AMD processor reviews that we've done, we always explain about the design of the chip. They haven't changed the size of the chip, it's still exactly the same size as the old Athlon 64 days, and it still uses this heat shield shim, or IHS as it's called. The reason they use this is so that it makes proper contact with your CPU cooler and doesn't damage the core. Back in the day of the old Athlon XP days, the core was exposed in the middle, so you will find that sometimes the cooler actually crushed the main part of the chip and the actual core. Another reason they do this is it's got all the relevant information that you need, so it tells us that it's the AMD Phenom II, what model it is, and so forth. There are a couple of websites out there on the market which will explain exactly what these codes on this chip mean, and by going on there it will tell you the speed of the chip, what core it is, and so forth. It also tells us where the chip is made, and it's got the AMD logo on there as well. Looking at the underside of the chip now, we can see the pins. AM3 as a socket actually uses 941 pins, but this particular chip is 938, and the reason AMD have done that is because of their transition period, as I like to call it. It's for the users who are still using AM2, more importantly AM2 Plus, which uses a similar amount of pins, so you can actually use this on your AM2 Plus board, but it all depends on the motherboard and the BIOS whether it can take the new Hexa-core 6-core chips. So as said, this does use 938 pins, even though the socket AM3 is 941 pins. It's for the benefit for the older users using AM2 Plus systems. Also, with all our AMD processor reviews, we have to do some kind of pricing or comparison. So the only real manufacturer we can look at is Intel. And if you are looking at Intel's 6-core chips, you're going to be looking at a lot of money. If you're looking at the Intel Xeons, which are more sort of focused at server-based processors, then you are looking at around £1,300 for something that's going to rival this. If you are looking at just the normal Core i7, there's a couple of 6-core chips out there at the moment, but you are looking at £700. In comparison, this one as a retail chip, so it comes with a heatsink cooler, you are looking at around just over the £200 mark, somewhere around £220. So it really depends. I know some people are AMD fanboys, some people are Intel fanboys, and it all depends whether you want to go with Intel or AMD, but £500 difference, I think I'll stick with the AMD. I was really excited when this processor actually landed with us. I was previously using the AMD Phenom II X4 965, which was their flagship processor, and I was using that for quite some time for use on the video rendering, editing and so forth. When this landed with us, I was a little bit dubious, being a new technology with 6 cores, but it did actually turn out to be a fantastic move from AMD, and also keeping within a nice price range in comparison to the equivalent Intels. You're looking at about £500 more. You will notice that the level 2 and level 3 cache is of a nice size, and it does use the latest AMD technology, which is 45 nanometers. Intel have now moved to 32, but AMD are sticking with 45 at this precise moment. It also does have support for DDR2 and DDR3, so it is going to help with that transition period of moving from the AM2 Plus to the AM3 socket systems. Overall, I think this is a fantastic chip, and I'm going to have to give it 5 out of 5 stars.